Hello, viewers. You are most welcome to today's class. Today, we shall be looking at something very many of us don't pay attention to. And what is that? We are looking at the British and American spellings. We want to see what differences exist between these two versions of English, the British, the American English. In what way do they differ in terms of their spelling? So that is what we shall be looking at today. So come along as I take you through this lesson. But as usual, let's quickly look at our Bible reference for this lesson. Let's see what the Bible has to say. Our Bible reference is taken from the book of Ezekiel, chapter 44, verse 23. And they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and the unholy, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean. The verse of the Bible I have just read to you shows that God expects that his people be taught the clear difference between unclean and clean things. In the same vein, we are being taught to achieve a discourse that is not confusing, writing that is not confusing. It should not, we should not mix British and American spellings together in a single discourse or in a composition. So we have to learn this and be master of this English language. So let's take a look at our behavioral objectives. We have 4 objectives. The first one is that by the end of this lesson, you, my listener, my viewers, are expected to identify English words. You'll be able to say, oh, this is an English word, this is British spelling, this is that, and you should be able to differentiate between British and American spellings. Oh, this one is American spelling. No. You should be able to identify which is British and which is American spelling. You are also expected to be able to explain treaty spelling skills, those spelling skills that will help you become better users of English language. You are expected to learn to explain that. And lastly, you are expected to be able to spell dictated words correctly using the British spelling system. Our preferred spelling system is the British spelling system. So by the end of this lesson, after we have taken you through the differences between these two versions of English, you are expected to be able to spell dictated words correctly in English and even make your compositions in English language. So why do we have to learn these different spellings? Well, as writers, we need to be aware of spelling differences when dealing people in Britain and in the US, because this is very, very essential. When using proper spelling for each country helps you to avoid confusion. When you are speaking or writing to a Briton and you're using American English, the person will be confused. And when you use the correct spelling system, either British or American, it gives your composition a touch of professionalism. It shows that you are a scholar. So whatever you write will be appreciated as a product of a learned speaker of English language. Now, one thing that marks out the British English from the American British spelling and American spelling is that American spellings are simplified and pronunciation based. They are tailored towards pronunciation. The way it's pronounced is the way it is written down. British English, on the other hand, still maintains the originality of the words from the source language. English language, the British English borrowed a lot from other languages, Greek, Latin, German, and French, and some other languages. So these words, the original spelling structure of those words from the source language are still maintained in the British English. Now we have 6 areas of differences between British and American spellings. So those are the things we are going to be looking at today. So let's start now with the first area of difference. Words that end in ER and RE. Yes, the British English favors RE, while the American English favors ER. Did you get that? British English spells the end of the word RE, while the American English spells it ER. Look at the list of words we have here. Center, fiber. Can you see the differences? British RE, American ER. Take a look. Take a look at these words. Can you pronounce them to yourselves and take note of the spellings? Okay, let's go to the second rule. Yes, words that end with NSE and NCE. For the British English, NCE ending is preferred, while Americans generally prefer NSE. British English spells the ending of specific certain words NCE. However, the Americans spell it NSE. Look at the list of words we have here. Defense. Look at the spelling of defense in American English. License. Compare that to the spelling of the word license in American English. In British English, offense. Compare that with the spelling of the same word in American English. Pretense in British English. Compare that, on the other hand, with the spelling of the same word in American English. Take a look at those words again. Now, the third area of spelling difference between British and American English. American English uses the IZE spelling at the end of words, and on the other hand, the British accept ISE ending instead. Let me repeat that. American spelling favors IZE E at the end of words. Contrary to that, the British English spells ISE at the end of words. Let's look at the following words in British and American spellings. Apologize. Look at the spelling of apologize in British English and compare that with that of American spelling. Organize in British English is different from the spelling of the same word in American English. And what is the difference? ISE, IZE. Recognize in British English is compared as with American English. Specialize in British English ends with ISE, but that is not the case in American English. It is IZE. Authorize in British English is quite different from American spelling. Look at the two versions carefully. Let me give you some more time to look at those words again. Take a look at them and take notice of the differences. Okay, now let's go to the fourth rule. The fourth area of difference between British and American spellings. In British English, the preferred spelling of words ending in OUR is not maintained in American English. Rather, the Americans drop the U from the spelling. Look at the two sets of spellings on the screen. Behavior. The spelling of the word behavior in British English ends with OUR, but in American English, the U has been dropped. So we have behavior. The same pronunciation, but different spellings. Look at the word color in British English. It ends with OUR, but in American English, the U has been deleted or dropped. Humor in British English is different from humor in American English. Labor in British English, labor in American English does not have letter U in it. Neighbor in British English is not the same spelling in American English. And what is the difference? In American English, it ends with OR as against OUR in British English. And the last word here, flavor. Flavor in British English ends with OUR, while it ends with OR in American English. Take some time to look at those words again. Look at the spellings again. Look at the spellings carefully. Okay. The fifth area of spelling differences between British and American English. Yes, where we have double vowels in British English, the double vowels are usually reduced to one in American English. Words with AE or OE are usually of Greek or Latin origin. Words with spellings such as AE or OE are of Greek or Latin origin. But the Americans will not retain any element of Greek or Latin spellings in their own words. So, how does this manifest in spelling? Look at the words of British spellings and words of American spellings on your screen. Leukemia. The word leukemia, British English, as Leukeemia, but in American English, it is Leukemia. The AE has been reduced to just letter E. So that is another case of difference between British and American English. Look at the word maneuver with OEU, but in American English it has been reduced to EU. Estrogen in British English is spelled OESTROGEN, but in American English it is ESTROGEN. Pediatric in British English is PAE, but in American English it is PE. Can you see that? Okay. Encyclopedia in British English is PAE, but in American English it is PE. Can you see that the difference is quite obvious, very obvious. So take a look at them again. Take a look at them and note the differences, so that when you next you write, you effect this in your composition. Okay, the 6 areas of difference now. Yes, words ending in a vowel plus L, particularly when you have an inflection. Now, while Americans have dropped the double L when adding suffixes to verbs that end in the letter L, the British still generally use the 2LL approach in their spelling. As far as the British speakers are concerned, before you add ing, the LL will be maintained. But for the Americans, they use a single L. Look at the following words. Traveling in British English is LL, while the same word in American English has a single L. Traveled in British English is LLED, but in American English it is LED. Traveler in British English has LL, but in American English only just a single L is retained. Field in British English is quite different from field in American English. And what is the difference? LL versus single L. Feeling in British English is not the same as feeling in American English. And what makes the difference? LL in British English, single L in American English. Take some time to look at the spelling differences again and capture them properly, view them correctly, accurately. Okay, now let's quickly take some exercise before we call it quits today. Write down the correct British spelling of the following American spellings. Here you have 10 words of American spelling. Now, what you have to do is change them to British spelling on this table. So you have the American spelling here. On the other hand, change that to British spelling. Are you doing that already? Okay. Come on. Following the rules you have been taught, I want to believe that this should not take you more than, say, a minute. Okay. I have another one for you. In this case, you will form a table like the previous one and insert the words there. Yes. Here you have them. Here you have the words. So what you do is, in a table, in a tabular form, indicate American spellings on one side and British spellings on the other side. So you arrange these words and you put the ones that follows American spelling under American spelling, and the ones that follow British spelling under British spelling. Okay, now you can write the words down and arrange them under each spelling types correctly. Are you still writing down the words? Okay. So today we have considered something that we mostly do not take serious. We have looked at the differences between American and British spellings. We have looked at 6 areas of differences between these 2 versions of English language. Number 1, why the British will spell the ending of words with RE, Americans will spell it with ER. The British will spell the end of words with NSE, with NCE rather, but the Americans will spell it NSE. The third one, the British prefer ISE ending in words, but the Americans prefer IZE ending in words. Number 4, for the British, the OUR ending is the preferred spelling system, but for the Americans it is OR. Number 5, yes, in between words, the British will rather spell words that are of Greek origin, retaining some of the letters in the original spellings, such as OE and AE, and you have the examples of words there. And lastly, LL before inflection in British spellings and single in American spellings. Thank you very much for your time today. I will be expecting your answers to the 2 exercises. Keep practicing, keep learning, and within a short time you'll be a master of this language. I remain your host, Adiemo Oludare Sunday. I'm a tutor in English language at Streget College, Isharemo, Ogun State. Till I come your way with another interesting topic, keep learning, keep getting better. Thank you. Bye-bye.